What's up, guys? Welcome back here to another weather update, my friends. My name is Andrew, and today we have ourselves a bit of an update for you all regarding snow and lots of it. Pretty far south actually expected here, which is pretty crazy. But guys, before we go ahead and get on into it, if you could leave a like, hit that subscribe button, be greatly appreciated. We are on the road to 30K, man. I can't believe it. Greatly appreciated. By the way, you might have noticed my face cam's not here right now. That's because, well, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties as usual with my camera. But without further ado, everybody, let's go ahead and jump on into it. So this is the current radar this morning here. You can see the sun rising and basically the states becoming available or visible, not available. They're already they're always available, but they're becoming visible. So yeah, there's a lot of precipitation here in the east. As you can kind of see, we do have ourselves a bit of storm activity in the south, a little bit of rain up here towards the mid-Atlantic and whatnot, just a little bit of that activity. Seems like we got a little bit of snow towards these central plains here. And out west, it is pretty clear for the most part. Not really a lot going on out there. Actually, we have a severe weather risk here for today and tomorrow across Florida. Tornadoes actually will be possible, so we'll have to look into that here in a second. But yeah, so that's basically what the radar looks like this morning. Let's go ahead and hop our way over here into the SPC forecast. And on the risk here for severe weather today, according to the Storm Prediction Center, we do have a level 1 severe weather threat across portions of the panhandle of Florida, a little bit of southwestern Georgia here. A couple of tornadoes cannot be ruled out here for today. According to the Storm Prediction Center, we have a 2% chance. Not really anything super crazy, not outbreak material or anything like that, just a little bit of couple isolated tornadic activity could be possible. Also damaging winds. We had a 5% chance for damaging wind gusts. Basically, some of those gusts getting up to right around 60 miles an hour or so. And in terms of hail, really no hail threat for today, which is good. Now, moving into tomorrow, that tornado threat and the severe weather threat moves eastward towards central Florida, actually where I'm at. So we have a marginal risk here, level 1 severe weather threat for tomorrow. Tornadoes, 2% chance overall. Damaging winds, 5% chance, and hail, just like today. No concerns. Pretty much the same threat continuing into tomorrow as that cold front advances eastward. Working our way into Monday, no thunderstorms are in the forecast, meaning that literally across the main 48 states, we are not expecting any thunderstorm activity. And over the next several days, there is really nothing significant ahead regarding severe weather. So just a little bit of severe weather today, a little bit of severe weather tomorrow. And once again, can't rule out a couple tornadoes, maybe a little bit of gusty winds involved too. But that's, anything in the long range, not really seeing much else. Alrighty, hopping on over here into the models, taking a look at the GFS run. So we do have ourselves a little bit of wintry precipitation up in the northeast, a little bit of rain in the south and the mid-Atlantic like we were talking about, just a little bit of activity going on in the east as we are seeing that advancement in cold air rolling its way down into the country. It is already getting very cold. Look at this pressure. 1,050 millibars. That is very high pressure. Huge ridge building its way into the country here over the next several days. So here's the thing. We're going to be getting ourselves a little bit of a kick in the moisture here from the Gulf. Going to be supplying a lot of the southeast with moisture, basically giving us those severe weather threats we were talking about. And we're actually going to gain a new low from this. A new low pressure system is, according to GFS, expected to develop here towards the mid-Atlantic, kind of right up the northeast coast here, driving a bit of snow. That'll start here basically for later on tomorrow morning, going into the afternoon, into the evening, and it should be out of the country basically by the afternoon here of the 20th overall, as we do have ourselves another ridge of high pressure building in here, so a little bit of a clipper system to follow. However, we work our way further down in time, and you notice something else starting to appear on the horizon. We got ourselves here another snowstorm, but not no ordinary snowstorm. This is one that's going to be really far south. We're actually talking a pretty decent amount of accumulations. We'll get to that here too in a few moments. Really showing, potential for snowfall for areas like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, the Carolinas and whatnot. So this will be taking place starting here for pretty much the morning of the 21st, working its way through into the 22nd, and should be out pretty much by the later portion here of the 22nd in general. And then anything further than that is kind of getting in la land, which, anything significant, like we mentioned, severe weather-wise or anything like that after this, is not really expected. So that's what the GFS American has to show. Now Euro, this is the ECMWF model. Euro kind of shows that little clipper system we were talking about developing, as we do have that low working its way across the mid-Atlantic. That'll be out, like we mentioned here, pretty much by the 20th. It should be pretty much gone. But yeah, look at this. Euro also agreeing with that really deep southern snowfall. I tell you what, man, this is pretty unheard of. This is pretty rare to have a snowstorm this far south. So this will be for areas near Houston, potentially getting some snowfall. Maybe even New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans could actually see a pretty good amount of snowfall out there. Working its way through like southern Alabama, southern Mississippi. Look at that, even Panhandle, Florida getting some snowfall. As we do have a bit of snowfall. Also really just kind of kicking off across a lot of the southeastern U.S., which all should be out pretty much here by the 22nd. So it's going to really start for the late 20th, go through the 21st, and it should be out basically by the 22nd in general. So hey, we got some consistency here in the models. Now, let's go ahead and hop over here to the accumulations in terms of what we could expect as of now. Alrighty, everybody, so hopping over here to the models, taking a look at the GFS American run regarding potential snowfall. Now, let me go ahead and give you all a little bit of a disclaimer here. This is one model. This is one model run, so don't take it too serious, as there is likely to be some changes still before the event gets here, pretty much. So, as we mentioned, there's kind of two little systems going on. We have the one that's rolling up across the northeast and the mid-Atlantic, and then we have that really far southern snowfall. So, once again, this is just one opinion, one potential scenario here. So, according to that, according to GFS, the first storm that rolls through, there could be some localized amounts here, possibly 4 to 10 inches or so, along, portions along like coastal New England, and maybe even a little bit of spots up here towards like the upper elevation of the Appalachian Mountains for both Virginia and West Virginia. So the Blue Ridge could see a little bit of snowfall, a pretty good amount. Elsewhere, mostly within the range of about 2 to 4 or whatnot. This does span from pretty much portions of the Ohio Valley through Ohio up into the western side of New England here. But this, once again, is just one take and one potential scenario here overall, showing the heaviest snow across the coastal areas of New England overall. So then we have that second system that does roll through. According to GFS here, a fair amount of snowfall. You know what, man? Like I said, this is pretty rare, having it this far to the south here. According to GFS, there's a couple of areas here that we could be getting up to possibly, 4 to maybe 8 inches, locally higher being possible through portions of Louisiana. Don't get your hopes up too high right now, because once again, this is just one opinion. This is just one potential outcome. But I tell you what, man, it does show a pretty good amount of snowfall. Then, of course, rolling its way in towards like southern Alabama, a good 2 to 4, locally up to 5 or so could be possible according to this model. For Florida, not really a whole lot for Florida according to the latest GFS that we have here. We have another one rendering, but this is the one that we have available to us at the moment. So, overall, southern snowfall, a fair amount for you folks, and this is a pretty rare storm. We'll definitely need to keep you guys updated on that. So now regarding the European model. All right, so regarding the European model here, the ECMWF, we have ourselves a heck of a different story here. So starting off with that first storm system that rolls through, we have a pretty good streak of pretty much about 2 to 4 inches, locally higher amounts being possible, that spans pretty much from the Blue Ridge Mountains upwards towards the coastal areas of New England, with the Ohio Valley getting around 1 to 3 inches across some of these regions here, like Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky maybe getting up to a dusting to an inch in some spots. Overall, a lot of this is going to be mostly focused towards the eastern Ohio Valley, the upper mid-Atlantic, into portions of the Northeast. Now, with this first snowstorm, it's not as aggressive as what the GFS suggested. Remember, the GFS was showing a little bit more accumulations, but this one's kind of showing a max of about 2 to 4, locally higher amounts being possible. Now, whenever it does come to the southern snowfall, that is where things are a little bit different. So Euro is actually a little bit more aggressive than the GFS regarding, potential snowfall with this southern storm. Look at this, though. Out there by, like, Louisiana, according to Euro, possibly a good 2 to 4 inches, locally higher amounts, 5, 6, maybe even a little bit higher in some areas, could not be ruled out, according to this model here. Out there towards like southern Alabama, pretty much a good 3 to 5 inches for a lot of you folks out there. Panhandle, Florida, look at this, man. Pretty crazy. You know, we could be seeing some local amounts, 6+ inches out there, according to Euro. Once again, you know, don't get your hopes up too high. This is just one model, one run after all. And then, of course, this model does have a really high streak of a good 7, 8, 9 inches or so that spans across eastern North Carolina, cutting through eastern South Carolina, southeastern portions here of Georgia even. Really seeing a pretty good amount of snowfall there overall. So we definitely need to look out for that. Now, I forgot to mention, there is a bit of upper-level snowfall here over the next couple of days, really actually starting now and rolling through over the next day or so. So just a little bit of a heads up for you folks up there in those upper elevations here overall. Now, let's go ahead and hop our way over here to these temperatures because, boy, are they getting ready to get even more colder. Okay, so back over here at the GFS model, looking at the actual expected temperatures, we've already started to see this cold plunge roll through overnight. It is very, very cold outside. Now, as we continue to roll through and as this Arctic air continues working its way down into the country, we are actually going to start to get a little bit of a warm front starting to develop here in the south, which is going to be sparking a little bit of instability, getting a little bit of severe weather going, like we mentioned, as you know, we looked at SPC a little bit ago, kind of showing that little bit of a tornado and wind threat. But it'll also make it a little bit warmer in the southeast because of that northerly air advection coming from the Gulf of Mexico. Now, we work our way further down in time, and basically, the cold air continues to advance here, pretty much as we work our way into the morning of the 20th. I think that's going to be like the coldest morning here. Now, look at these temperatures. Remember, these are actual temperatures. These are not the feel like. These are actual expected temperatures, according to the GFS. Ohio Valley, well in the single digits. Up in the northeast, same thing. Those upper elevations into the negatives. Same thing for some of those upper elevations in the Blue Ridge Mountains of like West Virginia. Out here towards, the mid-Atlantic in the teens. Very, very, very cold. Midwest in the single digits. But look at this. Up in the northern plains, we're talking actual temperatures getting around -10 to -20 plus range, or I should say minus range, because it's going to get very cold out here, that's for sure. Same thing leads its way into some of the Pacific Northwest, out here towards more like Montana, Idaho. Will definitely still be in the freezing and whatnot. But yeah, even in the southeast, I mean, temperatures are going to be well in the 20s, lower 20s across a lot of the south. It's going to be very, very cold. So make sure you guys definitely bundle up as you do travel Monday morning, because it is going to be extremely cold. Okay, so since we looked at the actual temperatures, I figured why not just pull up those feel-like temperatures just to kind of see what kind of range we're going to be in. And oh my goodness, it is going to be very, very cold. So we work our way down into the morning of the 20th again. Look at this. So according to GFS here, the morning of the 20th could have those wind chill values in the 30s, the negative 30s to negative 40s, locally even up to possibly some areas near negative 50-degree feel-like temperature. That is just ridiculously cold there overall. Out there towards the Ohio Valley here in the negatives, regarding feel-like is going to be expected up here in the northeast here as well overall. So, we're talking some pretty darn cold temperatures out here in general. Now, across the south, we do have like the southern plains, the southeast here. We do have, those feel-like temperatures in the teens, very, very cold as well. So just make sure you guys definitely bundle up, especially for the morning of the 20th or Monday, the 20th here. It's going to be very, very cold. Just wanted to look out for you guys. But alrighty, everybody. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this update here. Once again, I don't have a face cam because my camera is having some issues. So, but we'll hopefully get that fixed here relatively soon. If you guys did enjoy it, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. Once again, we love you guys. We want to make sure you guys are staying weather aware and up to date. So if you haven't already, consider doing that. And maybe even sharing this with a friend or a family member. It would be greatly appreciated just to help spread the word. And alrighty, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my friends. Catch you later on.